This is a fascinating case. It's hitting also the shares of the U.S. firm you mentioned, Booz Allen Hamilton. They fell today, actually getting beat up fairly bad after its employee that you identified as the whistleblower on the NSA, or the National Security Agency's surveillance program, Edward Snowden. He remains on the run. He's believed holed up in a Hong Kong hotel, or at least somewhere in Hong Kong. Now, meanwhile, his Virginia-based employer is trying to navigate a public relations mess. Suzanne Pratt has more.
It turns out there's big bucks in big secrets. While that fact may come as a surprise to many Americans, firms like Booz Allen Hamilton know it well. 1 out of every $4 that Booz Allen earned last year came from doing intelligence work for the United States government. And in the last 10 years, Booz Allen has become one of the largest American companies, due almost entirely to its biggest and extremely reliable client, the U.S. government. But now Booz Allen has what could be a long-term problem thanks to its rather short-term employee, Edward Snowden. He's the 29-year-old who revealed last week that the National Security Agency, where he had been working, has been collecting data and phone records on millions of U.S. citizens. Public relations expert Richard Torrenzano says Booz Allen is doing its best to keep its image intact.
Well, it's somewhat damaging. It appears so far that Booz Allen is doing all the right things. There's going to be an initial reaction, as we've seen in stock value. And I think there's going to be a longer-term reaction about the kind of contracts they can complete or gain in the future.
Nervousness about Booz Allen's business prospects were reflected today in the company's stock price. It fell nearly 3%, although the shares are still up about 25% this year. Snowden appears to be a rogue employee, but Torrenzano says his disclosure raises questions about just who should be handling some government work.
This is something that's not going to, may drop off the headlines in 2 or 3 weeks, but it's not going away. It's too important an issue for all our security. It is going to become a political hot potato in Washington.
Americans will no doubt debate whether the government should even be monitoring the phone and data usage of private citizens. But beyond that discussion, there's the question of whether private companies like Booz Allen are best equipped to be doing the snooping in the first place. Suzanne Pratt, CCTV, New York.